Hey guys, what's going on? I'm Veil Decay, bringing another video to you guys today. This is going to be part 2 of the Mage specs. The last video we went over it was, Frost Mages and where they're at in Battle for Azeroth, how they're looking on the beta. So in this video, we're going to be going over Fire and checking out the talents and my thoughts so far and what I think could be done to help the class. So let's go ahead and get into it, guys. Alright, so we're going to go over talents first. You got Fire Starter, which hasn't changed. Pyromaniac is the same, extra little hot streaks here and there. Searing Touch is new. It is Scorch, deals 150% increased damage, guaranteed crit when target is below 30% health. For those of you playing in Legion, you would recognize that as the Fire Belt. The legendary is what that is. So they just made it into a talent. Again, Blazing Soul, Shimmer, and Blast Wave. Nothing on this row has really changed. They kind of tweaked Blazing Soul a little bit. Now when you blink, you get your barrier back instead of like the amount of damage done or whatever it was. They just changed it to blink, you get a barrier. A little more defensive. Not bad. Blast Wave is the exact same, except they added a knockback to it. So it's just like another little interrupt to help out. Kind of cool, a little more control, things like that. But of course there's Shimmer. Shimmer's just the best talent in the row. 2 blinks, the way class mobility works now, you got to be able to move. So 2 blinks helps a lot. The next row is Incanter's Flow, Mirror Image, and Rune of Power. Nothing has changed in this row. They're all 3 the same talents. Nothing's changed. 60 row, you've got Flame On, Alexstrasza's Fury, and Phoenix Flames. Phoenix Flames is the artifact trait from your weapon. That's what this is. So they just made it a talent. You got Alexstrasza's Fury, which hasn't changed. Dragon's Breath crits and contributes to hot streak. Flame On hasn't changed. Reduces the cooldown of Fire Blast and increases the number of charges by 1. Same thing. 75 row, you've got Forensic Speed, Ice Ward, and Ring of Frost. So nothing's changed in this one either. All 3 are the same. Nothing's changed. 90 row. This is the row I have a problem with. You've got Flame Patch, Conflag, and Living Bomb. We all know what Living Bomb is. You put the dot up, it explodes, and it just kind of cascades from there. Conflag, in Fireball, it applies another dot, and then it flares up by nearby enemies. Just more cleave damage. And then there's Flame Patch. It leaves behind a patch of flames when you use Flame Strike. So it's just a little more damage from your AoE. My problem with this row is all 3 of them are AoE abilities. So that means all of our choices for AoE are in one row. I don't really like it too much. It's kind of a problem. I shouldn't have all of my AoE stuff in one row. Kind of just spread it around a little bit. You have Blast Wave up here. You could throw one of these somewhere up here and just move some things around. But it is what it is. And the last row, we've got Kindling, Pyroclasm, and Meteor. Meteor is the same. It drops the big meteor on the ground. Does damage. Good damage. Kindling reduces the cooldown on combustion. Pyroclasm is consuming hot streak, has a 15% chance to make your next non-instant pyroblast cast within 15 seconds, deal 300 additional damage. This is the bracers from Legion. It's the legendary bracers for fire. That's what this is. They made it a talent. Now from the last video, you know how I feel about them making legendaries and the artifact traits into talents. I feel like they could do other things. It is what it is, you know. But let's just look at them again. So Scorch dealing damage when the target's below 30% health. I feel like instead of making this a passive talent, you could just work it into the spell itself. If it's passive already, it means you don't have to activate it. So why not just write it into the spell itself to where when you're below 30% health on a target, it does this automatically. It would free up a spot in this row for something better, something new. I feel like it's just, I don't want to say laziness, but it looks a little bit like that. I just feel like you could write it into the spell and make it that much better. Phoenix Flames is the artifact weapon ability. I never really liked Phoenix Flames. I don't like the spamming of instant casts as fire is not really my style. I'm used to spamming fireball and spamming casts, and that's what mages are. They're not instant cast people. That's not what we do. But here it is, Phoenix Flames. I feel like if you put like a percentage on the ability to crit, it would make it a little bit more less RNG. I mean, I know Fire's had its problems with RNG in the past, and that's why they put this in. But now it's taken the RNG aspect of Fire out. Now you're constantly getting those pyroblasts, and the pyroblasts themselves don't really hurt. They're like, they're like little jabs instead of, full haymaker, things like that. I just feel like they could rework this a little bit, make it a little better for the spec itself. Pyroclasm. Pyroclasm is the one I do not have a problem with because you get to cast Pyroblast. You get to do that long cast, throw out that huge Pyroblast. I'm a big fan of this. But again, I feel like you could just write this into the spell itself. When you consume a hot streak, 15% chance that it procs. I feel like you could just write that into Pyroblast itself, free up yet another slot in this talent tree, and we'd be good to go. Because if you look at it, 3 slots. If you want to play just like in Legion, where you have the belt, you have the bracers, and you have your weapon, your artifact weapon, you have to take up 3 rows in the talent tree. That is absurd to me. That is ridiculous. You lose so much like customization and things like that. It's crazy. I feel like it could be reworked just a little bit to make things that much better. So that's my thoughts, on these talents. Not much has changed. A few changes have happened. Not much is different, but there's my thoughts. PvP talents, war mode. We kind of went over in the Frost video, so I'm not gonna go too into detail about it. They're kind of the same talents, really. Klepto, Dampen, Prismatic, Greater, Pyro, Flame Cannon, Firestarter, Flare Up, World in Flames, Tinder, Temporal Shield, and Netherwind Armor. They took a few out. Majority of them are still there. No big changes yet. Hopefully, they implement something. Hopefully, pretty soon. So now I want to talk to you guys about like the damage of fire itself. I've been questing a little while, playing fire, checking things out. So just show you real quick. Fireball hits for 600, right? Fire blast just crit for almost 2k. Obviously it's a crit, so it's gonna be a bigger number, but still 17. Why are the instant cast abilities doing so much more damage than a cast? I feel like if you spend the time to cast, it should do more damage. Now there's a 3k Pyroblast crit. So See these big numbers, right? But they're all instant cast stuff, man. Why is the instant cast stuff so much more powerful? I don't get it. I don't like it. There's a Phoenix Flames for almost 2K. You know what I'm saying? But yet your fireball that you cast is 600. Now out in the world questing, I've noticed that because there's so much instant cast damage that Pyroblast doesn't really do enough damage for me. Like I feel like they gimped it really hard because there's so much instant cast ability. So even when you do get, when you do get your proc and you throw it, it it just doesn't work. It doesn't hit hard enough. Now here's a Pyroclasm Pyroblast. Now watch this. 12k crit. That's what I'm talking about. You cast and it hits hard. That's what I'm talking about. But when you just sit there and you just hit instant cast stuff, that one was 1.4k. You know what I'm saying? Like little things. I just feel like they need to retweak some things in the specs, man. The instant cast stuff I feel like hits too hard, and the pyroblast don't hit hard enough. Even the procs don't hit hard enough. You don't feel as explosive as you did in Legion. I feel like if they threw a little more casting abilities into fire, it'd be cool. Because right now in Legion, PvE, PvP, Mythic Plus, rating, all that stuff, fire mages are doing pretty good. They look really good. Don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining on that kind of thing. But for Battle for Azeroth right now, I feel like they just gimped the damage because the instant cast stuff is too strong in Legion right now. So they kind of just gimped it in Battle for Azeroth to where your Pyroblast don't hit nearly as hard. And I feel like the damage could be brought up a little bit, especially for your casted abilities. Because your instant cast stuff still slams, dude. It still goes. It still hits hard. But your casted stuff just tickles, man. And I would rather punch somebody than tickle somebody. That's just my mindset. But I mean, it is what it is. We got to roll with the punches. If that's how it's gonna be, it's gonna be that way. You know, I do hope they can fix some stuff, and I've thrown my thoughts out there on it, and hopefully some of you guys feel the same way. Most of you guys probably don't feel the same way. Some of you guys probably think I'm crazy, and that's fine too. But these are my opinions, and it is what it is, and hopefully it gets some kind of tuning soon. Not just for Fire, but for Frost and Arcane. Mages in general haven't really been touched in the beta. A bunch of classes are getting overhauled. We haven't got nothing yet, so hopefully soon we'll get something. But that is going to do it for this video. I hope you guys really enjoyed. For you Arcane Mages out there, I will be doing an Arcane video hopefully in the next week or so. I'll get that out to you guys. And thanks for watching. If you got something for me, leave it down in the comments below. If you want to check out something, same thing, leave it in the comments below. Until the next video, guys, I will see you later. Peace.